kept calling me all night. You think I really care?
I told you.
Just beefing me all night. Yeah, but that you put me on to her.
Hey.
Lucky ass nigga right here. Bet you won't make it again. Put 5 on it, you won't make it again. Put the 5 on it. Bet it back. Bet the 5 right now, you won't make it again. Shoot it. Shoot it. You ain't gonna make it again. You ain't gonna, It's a lucky ass nigga right here. This your man. This your man, lucky ass nigga right here.
Hey, look, see, look. You know what time it is.
Okay, man.
What's happening? What's happening? Channel 6 podcast on an early Tuesday morning. Real quick, we didn't get to touch on it Sunday night because we was mainly talking about the Falcons game and talking about some other NBA news. Got to touch on it a little bit. Shador Sanders and the Browns, they beat the Raiders 24-10 Sunday night in Vegas. That was Shedeur Sanders' first start in the NFL. Of course, he took over Dylan Gabriel, who's on concussion protocol right now. And as it turns out, he's still on concussion protocol and will be out for this Sunday's game. Not sure who they're playing against right now, but Shedeur Sanders, real quick, he went 11 of 20. That's about 55%. For 209 yards. He had one. He threw for 1 touchdown. Threw an interception. His passer rating was 87.5. He had one very good throw where he threw to Isaiah Bond. I'm talking about he threw that thing right down the field. So he was looking good. This was the first week of the season where he got to practice with the first team, got reps with the first team. Deshaun Watson, this was his first road game where he actually went on the road with the team. Of course, he's injured. He's not coming back at all this season. Joe Flacco, he's gone. He's in Cincinnati. Tyler Huntley, he's gone. They called up Bailey Zappi from the practice squad. I doubt he's taking over that spot from Shedeur unless Shedeur just really does bad this season, this game, or the next game, depending on Dylan Gabriel's concussion protocol. But that's just a big example. Imagine how good Shedeur would have done if he had this whole season practicing with the first team, or even the second. However it goes in practice, but it's been public news. He's made it known. He's had to get a lot of practice time in on his own. Getting throws in with the equipment, the equipment crew. He's been going to high school campuses. He did a lot of that during the summer. More than likely, he's still doing that. He's been having to do a lot of this on his own. But when the time came, he showed improved. He showed up. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now that making a big deal about how he didn't get a game ball. Big deal. They was making a big deal about that on like Nightcap, Club Shay, what have you. Was making a big deal about that on other shows. That's small. The important thing is he showed up. He stepped up when his teammate went down, and he helped them win the game. Big deal. He didn't get a game ball. I'm pretty sure Shador Sanders has bigger goals and bigger things he's trying to accomplish. Getting offensive rookie of the year, Unfortunately, that's not happening. He doesn't have a big enough body of work to get that. So that's not an achievement. He's not going to be able to get in his rookie year, but he has way bigger things he's trying to get this year so far. So that's not a big deal. Um, like I say, they beat the Raiders 24-10. The Raiders ended up firing Chip Kelly, which is kind of ironic because Chip Kelly was the offensive coordinator of the Raiders, and pretty much a lot of people thought Shador Sanders was going to the Raiders because there was a lot of video going around of Shador Sanders and Tom Brady doing workouts. It was somewhat reported that there was a mentorship going on between Tom Brady and Shador Sanders. Shador Sanders wears number 12. Is that because that 21 flipped in reverse because of Dion? Is that 12 because of Tom Brady? Who knows? Google that to find out. But and then there was also the video out there with Mark Davis, the owner of the Las Vegas Aces and the Las Vegas Raiders, where Shador Sanders was at the Las Vegas Aces game, and Mark Davis was jokingly saying, we're gonna come get you in the draft, but they didn't draft him. Had plenty of times to get him in the draft, didn't get him. They signed Geno Smith, and he's not doing too well, so it really wouldn't have hurt them at all to sign him. I feel like the Raiders would have been a good fit for Shador, but obviously, offensive wise, quarterback wise, it's not going too well for the Raiders because they just fired the offensive coordinator. And so who knows what's next with that. As for Deshaun Watson, the Browns still owe Deshaun Watson some guaranteed money. Technically, he doesn't come off the books until 2028. Now they could cut him or trade him before then, but I mean, he has a fully guaranteed contract. So regardless of what they do, they're gonna owe him money for the next 3 years. They're gonna be paying him. So more than likely, regardless of how Shador does in this offseason, he's gonna have to compete for a starting spot next season with the Browns. If the Brown if the Browns keep him at all, because if he goes out and performs well, more than likely there's going to be interest from other teams. The Browns may be able to trade him. They might trade him on draft night. They might trade him in the off season. If they can't get anything, but I highly doubt at this point they would just cut him or release him. They can get something for him, even if it's a second or a third round pick. There's some type of video, I mean value that you can get for Shador Sanders. Bear with me. I'm just adding the thumbnail to the video if you're wondering why I'm looking down right now. But yes, there's no problem. I see no problem with that making them guys compete. And more than likely, I, Deshaun Watson, depending on his his health, he would probably beat. I would hate to say it. He would probably beat Shador Sanders out in camp. And just for the simple fact that you're paying them what you're paying them, they're gonna use that as an excuse to start him over Shador, because you can't pay someone that amount of money and use them as a backup. So I would say I would say more than likely that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna probably start Deshaun Watson. Now, me being an Atlanta Falcons fan, there's a lot of talk saying the Falcons should have drafted him and used him as a camp body because Michael Penix Jr. is injury prone. Of course, Michael Penix Jr. is out right now, and the quarterback that we have in place right now is also injury prone. So, Kirk Cousins. So it would have helped to have somebody else there, but I just feel the talent level between Michael Penix and Shador Sanders is not that much of a difference. Yeah, you would have got more eyes with the Falcons on the Falcons with Shador Sanders. You would have got the jersey sales. You would have got the TV exposure. But in terms of wins, it really wouldn't have made that much of a difference, in my opinion. Yep, and I'm not concerned with drawing a lot of casual fans. I'm concerned with winning. And as of right now, it's not looking like you're gonna get that with any of the quarterbacks in the room right now. And we're probably stuck with Michael Penix another year. But I just think right now that's just not the right fit for right now. I just don't think he would be a right fit for this team. Now, depending on how Shador Sanders does through this season and in training camp, his value more than likely is gonna his stock may rise. Who knows? But I just feel like right now he's not a good fit for my team. A lot of people want him. Right now, I just don't see the difference right now between him and Michael Penix, other than health wise. And also, real quick, and like I say, you're currently listening to the Channel 6 podcast. I'm giving my thoughts on Shador Sanders and his gameplay against the Las Vegas Raiders. They beat the Las Vegas Raiders 24-10. And Shador Sanders took over for Dylan Gabriel due to concussion. And the Cleveland Browns next game will be against the 49ers. Because right now they don't have anyone else ready. Bailey Zappi was with the practice squad. And like I say, Dylan Gabriel's hurt. They did have Tyler Huntley, but he's gone. And Joe Flacco got traded. And of course, Deshaun Watson is injured. So right now, this is who they got to work with. And I want to commend Deshaun Watson for doing doing what he could to help get Shador Sanders prepared, because not a lot of vets would do that. There isn't a lot of vets that's out there that would basically groom their replacement. Even Joe Flacco was doing that. He seen Shador Sanders and all those other rookies as competition. So I commend him for doing that. Even with the other controversy that he has going on, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to go on the road. He could have used that as an excuse to continue to rehab and nurse his injuries, but he took that time to go on the road with the team and help a young player get prepared. Also, of course, Deion Sanders was out there watching the son play. It's a lot of rumblings. People want people want Deion to coach the Browns because they don't like Kevin Stefanski. But y'all got to remember, Kevin Stefanski is a excuse me, is a two-time coach of the year. They're just not gonna let go of Kevin Stefanski like that. Then you got the my Falcons crowd who would like for Deion to coach in Atlanta and coach during Atlanta, or just coach in Atlanta. Period. I'd like for him to get an NFL coaching job, just not with my team. But I doubt he's coaching the Browns either. So don't look for that to happen anytime soon. But that was cool that even with his busy college football schedule, that he got to go out there and watch his son start his first game. And hopefully Shiloh still gets a shot somewhere in the league. I know he had a workout with the 49ers and nothing came of it. That is the Sanders I would like to see on my team. It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt at all to see him on the team. But so far with the body of work that Shador Sanders had, mind you, this is in one game and a couple of quarters that he's played. His percentage is 41.7. He has 256 passing yards, one passing touchdown, two interceptions, QB yards 52.5. Bear with me, that's one full game and a few minutes of game time. So the more he play, of course, that's going to change. So that's not a reflection of his play. That's just a small body of work. And he is the first rookie to win. Let me get the stat right. He's the first Browns rookie to win on his debut since Eric Zaire, and that's been almost 30 years. Eric Zaire, he was a QB at the University of Georgia. That's a long time. So that alone, should have got him more, respect from his coach. But Shador Sanders wasn't Kevin Stefanski's pick. So guess he got to play a little more. Got to earn that man respect. But he won your game, so you got to respect that son. So with this week coming up against the 49ers, he'll have more playing time, practice time with the offense. So he should be playing look, so which means he'll look even more better. He'll look even more better than he did last week. Um, the offense, his O line to be more familiar with him because Shedeur isn't really like a lot of people think that he's a speedster, like a Lamar or a Cam Newton or something like that, and that just goes to show you who actually watches him play a lot. He'll run when he has to, but he's not really a running QB like that. So that offensive line is going to have to step up too. So they'll be able to protect him more because he did get sacked, you know. So we'll see how it goes. But like I said, I just wanted to touch on the game a little bit because we really didn't get to talk a whole lot about it when I was on with one of my co-hosts Sunday night. I might be back on later, talk some more. But I just wanted to get on real quick this Tuesday morning to talk about it a little bit. Like I say, like and subscribe. We'll be back on later again this week. More than likely, we'll have the whole crew on. We got a lot of games going on this weekend. A lot of Thanksgiving weekend games. Of course, we got the games on Thanksgiving Day, NFL. We got college games going on Friday. Georgia Tech versus Georgia. I'm more than likely going to do a live stream for that game. So we'll see how things go. Like I say, so this is Channel 6 podcast, early morning stream. Signing off.
You can be anything you want to be. Remember, the saddest thing in life is